This camera is watching my living room right now. It knows when my kids get home from school. It knows the layout of every room in my house. And there's a decent chance it's sending all of that to a server in a country where the government can legally demand access to it. No warrant, no judge, and no way to say no. The Greeks gave Troy a gift. We're doing the same thing, except the horse is a camera, and we're paying for it monthly. The two companies that make more surveillance cameras than anyone else on Earth are both Chinese. Hikvision is partially owned by the Chinese government through a state-run military contractor. Dahua operates under the same legal system, and that legal system has a rule you need to know about. In 2017, China passed the National Intelligence Law. Article 7 says, quote, all organizations and citizens shall support, assist, and cooperate with the national intelligence efforts. Article 14 gives intelligence agencies the power to demand any company hand over data. No court review, no judicial sign-off, no legal standing to refuse. If the Chinese government wants your camera footage, the company gives it to them. That's not a theory, that's the law. It's already happened. In May 2024, a lawyer in Minnesota was home with his family when his robot vacuum started moving on its own. Then the speaker turned on. Someone was screaming racial slurs at his kids through the vacuum's microphone. Same thing happened to families in Texas and California. Researchers at DEF CON showed that 7,000 of these vacuums could be accessed remotely. And it's not just vacuums. TVs, Wi-Fi hubs, anything with Chinese software not only can be exploited, it is currently being exploited. In 2023, BBC Panorama tested the Hikvision camera. A security researcher from thousands of miles away watched every keystroke on BBC employees' screens. He got their iPhone passcode. The vulnerability he used was discovered in 2017, and it was still being exploited 6 years later. And Dahua software was caught with code specifically designed to recognize Uyghur faces and alert Chinese police. These aren't companies that are careless with your data. They're building tools for an authoritarian state, and they're making the camera on your bookshelf. But here's where the story stops being about privacy. On February 28, 2026, the US and Israel launched a joint military strike against Iran. The opening move wasn't a missile, it was cameras. Israel's intelligence had hacked nearly every traffic camera in Tehran, not for days, for years. They fed those feeds to AI and built detailed dossiers on the Supreme Leader's security detail. Home addresses, shift schedules, driving routes. One camera angle showed exactly where bodyguards parked their personal vehicles, letting analysts track movement in and out of the compound day after day. An Israeli intelligence official told the Financial Times, quote, we knew Tehran like we know Jerusalem. And when you know a place that well, you notice the single thing that is out of place. Surveillance cameras were the first link in a chain that ended the life of a head of state. The cameras weren't watching, they were targeting. The cameras being exploited in operations like this in Tehran are the same types of cameras found in your home. Chinese manufactured, sold in over 200 countries, banned from US government buildings, and still on the shelf at your local electronics store. You might be saying, I have nothing to hide. I'm not doing anything wrong. They don't want my information. Why would it matter? But AI doesn't need your secrets. It just needs your camera. It maps your routine. It identifies every person who enters your home. It reads your screen from your laptop. It logs when you leave, when you sleep, when your house is empty. One camera, one AI, a profile more detailed than anything you'd ever put on social media. Multiply that by 54 million American homes. That's not surveillance. That's an intelligence database of an entire population. The question was never whether you're doing something wrong. It's what someone can do with everything you're doing right. The US government banned Hikvision and Dahua from federal buildings in 2019. The FCC banned new equipment authorizations in 2022. The Court of Appeals upheld it in 2024. Then this April, India went further. They required every internet-connected camera to pass security certifications. Hikvision, Dahua, and TP-Link were all denied. They can no longer sell cameras in India. India disclosed over 1 million Chinese cameras in their government buildings. In March, authorities caught an espionage network exploiting those exact feeds to transmit footage across borders. Two of the world's largest democracies looked at these cameras and said, too dangerous. But they're still in your kid's bedroom. I'm not telling you to rip the cameras off your walls. Home security matters. Before you buy a camera, ask 3 questions. Where are the company's servers? What country's laws protect your footage? And does the company publish transparency reports about government access? There are American companies building cameras that store everything domestically under American privacy laws. That doesn't mean nothing can't go wrong, but the legal framework protecting your footage is fundamentally different than the one where Article 7 says the government takes what it wants. The Trojan horse only works if you don't look inside. Here's what you can do right now. Call your members of Congress. It takes 2 minutes. Tell them you want legislation that protects American families from foreign surveillance in their own homes, not just in government buildings. Tell them to ban the storage of American data in Chinese data centers, and then ask them to ban the use of Chinese software in American cameras. And then please share this video with your friends.